Hello and welcome back to Storytime with Mrs. Howergy. I'm Mrs. Howergy. Before we begin our book today, I'd like to wish a very, very happy birthday to my good friend Mark, who is turning 9 today. Happy birthday, Mark, and I really hope to see you soon. The book we are continuing with today is my all-time favorite. It is The Absolutely Essential Eloise. I have 2 dolls, which is enough. Their names are Sabine and Sailor. Sabine is a rag doll, and she has absolutely no face at all, partially because she came from Jamaica by Air Express. Otherwise, she has shoe-button eyes and 2 right legs. She is rather unusual. Sailor is a very large doll and has a hard head and no arms. She was in the most terriblest accident, and she bled so hard she almost choked in the night. She bleeded so hard, she almost choked in the night, and this ambulance came and took her to the hospital, and it was an emergency, and they had to give her all this terribly dark medicine and a lot of Band-Aids, and when she came back home, she was weak, and had to take cod liver oil. I gave her a strawberry leaf from under my grapefruit for not whimpering, and Weenie licked her face. They have to have a teaspoon of water every hour or so. You can see they are an extremely lot of extra work. That was a mouthful. Here's what I live to do: make things up. Here's what I can do: chew gum, write, spell, stand on my head for the longest amount of time, stand on my toes, get dizzy and fall down, make a terrible face. And here's the thing of it: most of the time, I'm on the telephone. My day is rather full. I have to call the valet and tell him to get up here and pick up my sneakers to be cleaned and pressed, and have them back for sure without fail. Then I have to play the piano and look in the mirror for a while. Then I have to open and close the door for a while, and as soon as I hear talking and laughing, I skitter out and run down the hall. And if there is an open door, I have to walk in and pretend I am an orphan, and sometimes I limp and sort of bend in the side and look sort of sad in between the arms, and they give me a piece of melon or something. Then I roam around the halls. Then I have to scurry down to the 10th floor to adjust those thermostats in case anyone needs it. And if there's a fire on the 6th floor, I know how to fix it. Then I have to hide and see what those hotel officers are up to. All they do is walk and talk. I have never been arrested. Then I have to hurry back to the top floor. Our day maid's name is Joanna. She has earrings with garnets and is going to take her Social Security to Bavaria on her birthday. One time she saw this man in this hairnet, and he bawled her out for taking his razor blades. I have to help her put on those pillowcases, or she'll never be through by 4, for Lord's sake. She has to be through by 4. Then I have to go around to the service elevator on the 6th floor and see what everybody's thrown away, and if I want it or not, like ribbon or something like that. Then I have to go down to the switchboard operators in case there are any DAs, and there has to be some sort of messages taken or something like that. If there is an exit sign, I always have to go into it because there might be a mattress in there, and I can lie down on it and get some rest so I can carry on, for Lord's sake. Oh my Lord, I am absolutely so busy, I don't know how I can possibly get everything done. Then I have to hop around for a while. I have lunch at the Palm Court if it is too rainy, and see Thomas. We are both rather fond of talking, and he gives me Google Hopfin. Thomas has a son in the Marines who got married on a shoestring. Thomas has a Corvette. I always go to the Parisian room after 4 to see my friend Bill. He is a busboy in the night and goes to school in the day, and his eyes water. Here's where he's been: Madrid. Here's where I've been: boiler room. Then I scamper to the terrace room where those debutantes are prancing around. Then I have to skibble into the Baroque room because sometimes there is this chalk and there is this pitcher with ice water in it, and you should see the cigar smoke left over from a General Motors meeting. Oh my Lord. Then I help the busboys and waiters get set up in the crystal room. They always wait until the last second for Lord's sake, and then we have to rush our feet off. I go to all the weddings in the white and gold room, and I usually stay for the reception. There are absolutely nothing but rooms in the plaza. Oh, I absolutely love the plaza. Sometimes they are having this enormous affair in the grand ballroom. I get there early to help Joe set up the lights in the ceiling, and before anybody gets there, we just scamper up this ladder and hide up there in those holes. Oh my lord, it is ever sweltering hot up there. I always wear my sun visor. I am all over the hotel. Half the time I am lost, but mostly I am on the first floor because that's where catering is. So I have to go down there every day for at least 3 hours, and sometimes I have to go at night. Oh my lord, do they ever have a lot of things going on down there. Altogether, I have been to 56 affairs, including Halloween. There is this oak room, which is to the right if you want to have a broken mint or something like that. And you have to go downstairs to the rendezvous room, which is very good for hiding over a long period of time and for doing a tour jeté or so. The package room has all these packages in it, and sometimes I have to help them lift those heavy boxes and look for small packages that might be for me, Eloise. Sometimes I have to go to the men's room, which is very good for playing railroad station or something like that. Every Wednesday, I have to go to the barber shop and have Vincent shape my hair. He does absolutely nothing but talk and swiggles me around in that chair and hurts my neck with the whisk broom. Sometimes I sklonk him in the kneecaps. Vincent says that if I am not careful, I am not going to have a hair on my head by the time I'm 7, for Lord's sake. Getting bored is not allowed. Sometimes I comb my hair with a fork. Sometimes I wear my arm in a sling. Sometimes I put a rubber band on the end of my nose. Toe shoes make very good ears. Sometimes I wear them to lunch. Here's what I like to do: pretend. Sometimes I am a mother with 40 children. Sometimes I am a giant with fire coming out of my hair. Sometimes I get terribly sick and have to be waited on. Sometimes I get so sick my head falls over and it's wobbling until it is loose. Then we have to call my mother long distance and charge it. My mother is 30 and has a charge account in Bergdorf's. She wears a 3.5 shoes. I put a large cabbage leaf on my head when I have a headache. It makes a very good hat. My mother knows Coco Chanel. She goes to Europe and to Paris and sends for me if there's some sun. I am always packed in case I have to leave on TWA at a moment's notice or something like that. My mother has a T&T stock, and she knows an ad man, whatever that is. Sometimes my mother goes to Virginia with her lawyer. He has an office on Madison Avenue. He has already had the whooping cough and the measles. Sometimes I give him rubber candy, and he's absolutely so dumb he eats it. Sometimes he brings me a present, whether I deserve it or not. I usually do. Here's what he likes: martinis. Here's what I like: dandelions. Sometimes I have a temper fit, but not very often. And this is where we'll stop for today. Thank you so much for joining me. Please like this video and subscribe below. Bye-bye.